Hi, everyone. This is the Moral Reform Chronicles. And sorry for the shaky cam today. I actually have just been having a very lazy day today, and on my day off, when you work 6 days a week, and every now and then, sometimes more, it can be a bit much sometimes for you. And don't worry about this. This is where I bumped my head, so I apologize. I know it looks really odd. But I would like to talk today about another thing when it comes to life. For an example, you hear much of the younger generations, and I think it's gradually changing, but not quick enough, in my opinion. There are many of them, and they're in my age group as well, that really would like to have free money. So called free. But here's the problem with this: it all sounds so good. It all sounds great. Sounds like something like, yeah, free money. Who wouldn't love free money if it were truly free? Someone's paying for it. Who are those people, you may ask? Well, if it's coming from our government, then people like me and you, the everyday hardworking folks, that money is coming from our pockets and going to whoever so-called gets free money. But that's the thing. Just because it sounds great doesn't mean that it is great. And through life, as we all get older and more wiser, hopefully that's the case, we must always recall and remember this. When we are going through life, yes, free money sounds great, but it does not mean that it's truly free. Take for an example, I can't remember what those things were called now. Those checks everybody got through the mail or got to their banks or their checking accounts during the time when the 45th president was in. I'm not sure if YouTube will allow me to say this, so I'm just being careful. When we got all that, don't get me wrong, it felt good. It felt like it was great. I put it towards my debt when I was living in another state. And here's the thing about it. Yes, while I paid off some debt, who knew that later on, we all of us, would be paying back that money that we got from the government. And I don't know why it slips my mind the name of it, but you know what I'm talking about, hopefully. If you got that check, you know what I'm talking about. So, like I said, I put it towards my debts because I didn't find it necessary to go spend it on whatever. To me, let's put it towards the debt. Let's be smart about this. And as time goes on, I got a car that now I didn't get one right then, but my car that I have right now paid it off. That there's nothing on that car. It's paid off in full, and I paid. And when I got it, that car was paid off within 3 years, and thanks due to that check. But again, that doesn't change the fact that just because it feels good for that little bit of time, that we're not going to feel something later on. And I would say, 2023, here we are, and I paid that car off. I'm going to say 2021. Get what I'm getting at? Yeah, I may have paid one thing off, but now I'm having to make up for it. All of us, not me necessarily making up for all of us, but every one of us is having to make up for when we got those checks. And if we're honest, it's not been good for us. It's been actually pretty bad. Inflation and everything else, and honestly, inflation is a very debatable topic right now, and how it doesn't really help us at all. I mean, in the sense of the way it's been used, it's not good. But, those of us that know some things, and I can't say it all in here because, again, I'll probably get, I'm not one of those big channels, obviously. I'm a very tiny channel, but think of it again. All this going on makes you wonder, were those checks really worth it? And probably for some folks it was. And someone like me, it definitely was. I didn't have the best job at the time, but I still had a job paid okay. But it wasn't like what I'm doing now. So, however you look at this, it's not good to always want something that's just like a handout, because the more you get it, the more you're gonna want it, and then the more you get more, if you're one of those that gets things, gets stuff like that given to you, and maybe not just money but other things, the more you're going to expect it. All I'll say is work hard, work for your money. 3, put as much as you can back, whatever that looks like, even if it's a tiny bit that grows over time. Do what Dave Ramsey said. Make an emergency fund. Don't use credit cards. Make an emergency fund. And my wife and I are actually going to be contributing for too long to our own, together, not just me anymore, to our own emergency fund. And we're going to be able to do way more stuff to help with our place here that you can see, which I'm trying to make sure not to show everything because we work so much, it's hard to keep it clean the way we want. It's still better than some places that you may have seen in your lifetime, especially better than ones I've seen, where it's just like everybody has mess everywhere. It's like, oh my, what are these people thinking? But that again, that's not the judge. Just being honest here. And so the emergency fund is a good thing for you to set up. Don't set it up in the same account that you always look at every day. You're going to be tempted to take that money out. Put it in a separate one where it's just that money goes into your own emergency fund. It is very important. And if anybody that watches this, although a very small number, I highly recommend Dave Ramsey's book. It's an older book, but it's called Financial Peace. My wife and I have not got all the way through it, but what we have read so far, and being that we're so busy now, we can't even hardly keep up with anything. But the nice part is, eventually, my wife won't have to work anymore, and I'll be the only one working, which is the way we want it to be. You know, the old school way. The woman stays at home, and the man goes to work. And I'm not saying that every woman needs to do that, because everybody's situation is different. There are some women that have to go to work. So to make that very clear, there are some women that have to go to work. So they don't really have much of a choice in the matter, because maybe the guy they were with years ago is now somewhere else doing whatever, maybe even more junk to people's lives, which is not okay. But however, just because that's the way my wife and I want it between her and I, does not mean that I'm telling you to do it, because that would not be fair to you, because I don't know your situation. But however we look at this, we must always remember to, again, be one that works hard, be a good citizen of society, be friendly, be kind, be caring. You got those negative folks around you, walk away. And if you don't walk away, walk away, you're going to regret it later. So, and in life, this is just how it goes. It doesn't matter how old you are, how young you are. Things come back around, whether we like it or not. We can only hope that it's good. But if we've made a lot of bad decisions, it's usually not going to be good at all. And so I say to you, work hard, and I'm going to repeat, be a good citizen of society. Live the best that you can within your means. Put back an emergency fund. You know, your money, whatever that is. Maybe you need to do $50. Maybe you need $100 every paycheck. I don't know how much you make, but you gotta live within your means. So in this case, do the best you can. Move forward and try to live life to the point where it's reasonable, where it makes sense. And I'm not saying that everybody's going to agree with you, but if it's helping you get ahead and you know it's not going to backfire, stick with it and don't give up. Eventually, the light will start shining again. Have a great day, everyone. And remember, you can always achieve greatness.